dispositivos móviles estén en silencio o modo vibración. Maricel Cohen de Molino, primera dama de la República de Panamá. Muy buenos días, sean todos bienvenidos al lanzamiento regional de la 23ª Semana de la Vacunación en las Américas y la 13ª Semana Mundial de la Inmunización, que este año tiene como sede la República de Panamá. Me permito saludar a la honorable señora Maricel Cohen de Molino, primera dama de la República de Panamá, su excelencia Fernando Boy Galindo, ministro de Salud, doctor Jarbas Barbosa, director regional de la OPS, doctora Ana Rivera Sinamón, representante de la OPS-OMS en Panamá, ingeniero Rogelio Bordón, subdirector general de la Caja de Seguro Social, magíster Ixel de Hewitz, coordinadora del programa ampliado de inmunización del MINSA, ministros y viceministros de Estado de la República de Panamá, cuerpo diplomático acreditado en nuestro país, invitados especiales, medios de comunicación social. También saludamos a los países de la región de las Américas que se unen a este evento a través de los medios y canales digitales. Señoras y señores, hace 23 años inició en la región esta jornada de inmunización contra enfermedades prevenibles con el apoyo de la Organización Panamericana de la Salud y la Organización Mundial de la Salud. Hoy contamos en nuestro país con la presencia del doctor Jarbas Barbosa, director de la OPS, a quien invitamos a dirigirnos unas palabras.
Buenos días. Honorable senhora Maricel Cohen de Molina, primeira dama da República de Panamá, Sua Excelência Fernando Boy Galindo, ministro de Salud, Ana Rivera Sinamón, nossa representante da OPS e OMS em Panamá, honorable senhor Dino Montes, eu creio que está aqui representado por el subdiretor general da Caja de Seguro Social, licenciada Ixel de Hewitz, coordenadora do Programa Ampliado de Imunização do Ministério da Saúde de Panamá, ministros, vice-ministros de Estado, corpo diplomático acreditado em Panamá, profissionais de saúde que estão aqui, que sem dúvida são a grande fortaleza que tem os programas de imunização em Panamá e em toda a região das Américas. Distinguidos invitados, colegas e amigos. É um honor celebrar com vocês em la cidade de Panamá o lançamento da 23ª Semana de Vacunação em las Américas. Essa semana é um testemunho do compromisso inquebrantável de nossa região com a saúde pública e do poder das vacunas para transformar e salvar vidas e proteger a saúde e o bem-estar de nossas gerações. Entre os dias 26 de abril e 13 de maio de 2025, os países de las Américas administrarão mais de 64 milhões de doses de vacunas, dando a las pessoas, especialmente a los niños e niñas, uma melhor oportunidade de desfrutar de vidas saludáveis e produtivas. O tema deste ano, Tu decisão marca a diferença, enfatiza o papel vital que cada um de nós desempenha no cuidado de nossa saúde e o bem-estar de nossas famílias e de nossas comunidades. Desde 2003, a Semana de Vacunação em las Américas ha sido uma pedra angular de los esforços de la saúde pública de nossa região, impulsando a vacunação de mais de 1.200 milhões de pessoas em 40 países e territórios de las Américas. Este hito ha inspirado o mundo. E, finalmente, a criação da Semana Mundial de la Inmunização no ano 2012. O liderazgo de nossa região em vacunação vai mais allá de essa semana. Por décadas, a região de las Américas ha logrado hitos notáveis em la eliminação de enfermidades. A viruela foi eliminada em 1974 e eradicada 6 anos depois em nossa região. Também se han eliminado a poliomielite, a rubéola, o síndrome de rubéola congênita e o tétanos neonatal. No ano 2023, a Organização Pan-Americana de la Salud relançou a Iniciativa Regional de Eliminação de Enfermidades, comprometendo-se, assim, em eliminar mais de 30 enfermidades e condições relacionadas em las Américas para o ano 2030. A vacunação juega um papel fundamental, já que pode contribuir a detener 11 dessas 30 enfermidades haciendo que esa semana de vacunación sea un paso crucial en el logro de nuestro objetivo. Me gustaría mucho de felicitar ao seu ministro, Fernando Bode Galindo, a senhora primeira-dama, todo o governo de Panamá, por la seriedade que tomaram em la iniciativa de eliminação. Já temos em Panamá o Plano Nacional de Eliminação de Enfermidades, que com o apoio da Organização Pan-Americana de la Salud, sem dúvida, vai ser com esse país tenha um liderazgo importante no contexto da região para eliminar enfermidades e servir de inspiração também aos outros países da América Latina e do Caribe para que possam caminhar com mais velocidade em eliminar essas enfermidades. São enfermidades que, de uma maneira geral, de uma maneira desproporcional, senhora primeira-dama, afetam as populações mais vulneráveis, aos povos indígenas, às pessoas de los bairros pobres de las grandes cidades que temos na região. E isso faz com que se tenha, com essas enfermidades, um círculo vicioso entre a pobreza e a enfermidade. São os mais pobres que se enfermam, e quando se enfermam, todavia se quedam mais pobres. Por isso que eliminar essas enfermidades, además de ser um avanço importante para a saúde, também é nossa contribuição do setor saúde para melhorar a vida, para melhorar a equidade em acesso, para melhorar a própria capacidade de desenvolvimento das famílias e das comunidades. Então, eu felicito muito a Panamá por esse liderazgo, por essa iniciativa de ser um dos primeiros países da região que já tem esse plano nacional e que está trabalhando com muita força para a eliminação dessas enfermidades. O liderazgo, em Melanho, uma das oportunidades mais prometedoras que temos nesse âmbito da eliminação de enfermidades é a eliminação do câncer cervicuterino, que faz parte das prioridades do país também de Panamá. Câncer cervicuterino causa a morte de mais de 40 mil mulheres em las Américas a cada ano. 40 mil. São 40 mil famílias que se quedam, muitas vezes sem as mamãs, com filhos huérfanos, com mulheres que perdem a vida em idade muitas vezes produtiva, que poderiam estar apoiando as suas famílias e suas comunidades. 40 mil. Esse é o primeiro câncer que podemos prevenir com uma vacuna. E podemos ser a primeira região do mundo em eliminar essa enfermidade. É uma das prioridades que tenho de minha administração na OPS, é mobilizar todas as oficinas de nossos países a trabalhar com os ministérios de saúde, com as autoridades em cada país, para que as Américas possam ser a primeira região do mundo a eliminar o câncer cervicuterino. A OPS se ha comprometido a brindar apoio aos Estados-membros para alcançar as metas mundiais de eliminação del 90% de cobertura contra o vírus do papiloma humano, a vacuna VPH, 70% de cobertura de detecção e 90% de cobertura de tratamento, lo que se vê reforçado por essa iniciativa que mencionei. Hasta la fecha, 48 de los 51 países e territórios em las Américas han introduzido a vacuna contra a VPH, a principal causante desse tipo de câncer. Para eliminar, necessitamos alcançar uma cobertura de vacinação de ao menos 90%, promovendo o acesso equitativo para ninhas e ninhos. E nesse sentido, uma aliança com o setor de educação é clave, né? Porque vacinar adolescentes, muitas vezes, se não temos estratégia de chegar hasta onde estão os adolescentes, não são um grupo que se vão facilmente a um centro de saúde. Então, uma aliança com as escolas públicas, privadas, com os centros comerciais, ou seja, onde estão os adolescentes, pode sem dúvida, contribuir muito para alcançar os 90% que necessitamos. O compromisso do governo, como o governo de Panamá e as campanhas de saúde pública, serão essenciais para involucrar a comunidade e alcançar nossos objetivos. Durante essa semana de vacunação em las Américas desse ano de 2025, os países administrarão mais de 17,7 milhões de doses de vacinas contra o VPH. Me gostaria de enfatizar que temos todas as razões para ser otimistas. Historicamente, nessa região, a reportagem de cobertura de vacinação, aunque as taxas han diminuído na última década. Los países han trabajado sin descanso para contrarrestar los efectos negativos de la pandemia de COVID-19 en prácticamente todos los programas prioritarios de salud pública, también en los programas de vacunación. Me enorgullece decir que esos
Those efforts are now providing the initial productivity. The Americas is the only region in the world that already has executed the levels of coverage in vaccination previous to the pandemic. I would like to extend my gratitude to all of you who've been working relentlessly to save the lives of boys and girls. But we cannot stop. We still have important gaps. And the possibility of losing their lives due to certain diseases. Mrs. Rubella have provoked new outbreaks in certain countries. Over 1,800 people acquired measles, and in the same period of last year, the numbers were a lot less. So, in order to face this, we urgently need to close the gaps and to be able to reach the level of 95% of coverage in measles in all the different places, weeks, cities, and communities. During this year's vaccination week, we will provide 2.5 million of dosages in order to fight these diseases. And this is part of the micro planning strategy to identify exactly where are the non-vaccinated ones, because there are a lot of economic, social, cultural barriers, and the invisible ones that we need to identify and remove to ensure that millions of boys and girls will have the same right to access towards a vaccine. This will ensure that everyone will be protected regardless of where you live, so that we can keep the region protected and free from these diseases. So I have noticed that there are important and ambitious purposes and objectives for countries. For example, clinics with extended shifts, working shifts, to provide vaccination, to reduce the waiting times, and to allocate not only the workers but the family members. Campaigns to promote vaccination, informative sessions, community campaigns, and the different campaigns in social media to be able to reduce misinformation and to foster the conversation with regards to vaccination. Sessions for health workers to improve their technical abilities, to improve their capacities, to significantly work with their communities closely. However, the needs for vaccination goes beyond this week, so in PAHOR, we're going to be working together with the member states to foster raising awareness and the trust for the vaccination beyond the vaccination week. We understand that we have to also provide the vaccines at reasonable prices. So the fund of PAHO will contribute to such objective by providing high quality vaccines at affordable costs for 49 countries of the region. This regional mechanism will coordinate national resources to simplify the process of the acquisition and to allow appropriate access to key inputs and different supplies that are necessary at affordable prices. Another aspect is the 41% of the mortality morbidity, have our leadership to close the gaps of lack of immunization and save lives. Thank you very much for being part of this essential objective. Everyone here, all health workers, member of the government of Panama, from the Ministry of Health, the First Lady, the Ministry, everyone who works in the different health units to promote vaccination and ensure access. Thank you very much for your commitment to this essential cause. Let us celebrate this vaccination week with our renewed strength and determination, knowing that our decisions and actions will make the difference for the upcoming brighter future for everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Barbosa, for your words. We would like to once again reiterate our warm welcome to our country. We would like to accelerate the application of vaccines and avoid the 11 preventable diseases. In the next video, you will see part of the outreach of this immunization process in the Americas. Each smile, each hug, and step of our children, it's like a wonderful gift. For over 50 years, vaccination's been the shield, saving 6 lives every minute worldwide. This is 8,000 lives a day. Thanks to the Vaccination Week of the Americas, we have been able to provide immunization to 1,200 million people in different countries. We have been free of polio for 30 years, and the Americas is also free from endemic measles. But still a lot to be done. By 2030, PAHO said objective of eliminated over 30 communicable diseases. This is a major objective for our communities, our health systems, and to foster social economic progress. One of our priorities is that our region will be the first one to eliminate the cervical uterine cancer that has taken over 40,000 lives only in 2022 in the Americas. So that is why PAHO supports the countries to achieve a level of vaccination of at least 90% against the human papilloma virus. And in some countries, boys are being vaccinated as well in order to contribute to this objective. But still, there are adolescents that don't have access to this vaccine. So we need an immediate support of our leaders, communities, and each individual. No child, no person must suffer or die due to a disease that we know how to prevent. Why is it so important for you to get vaccination? Because each person that gets vaccinated, it's a person whose life has been saved, and it works into the progress of the community. Your decision makes a difference. For those that you love, for the future, for your health, and for the well-being of your country and your region. So the Ministry of Health, as the regulated entity of the country, has the challenge of providing immunization to thousands of not only citizens, but people in transit in this territory. That is why we're going to hear from His Excellency Dr. Boy Galindo, Minister of Health from the Republic of Panama. Good morning to one and all. I would also like to address the same greetings as before, not to bore you. And first of all, I would like to thank God for allowing us to be here today in our Vaccination Week of the Americas, an initiative that started in the Andean subregion to answer to an endemic measles outbreak that happened. So in the year 2002, Panama was one of the 19 countries of the region that started this initiative. And since then, our nation has continued with different activities to assist people in the most remote areas. 23 years later, we are celebrating the America's Vaccination Week and the 13th week of immunization worldwide that started originally on April 16 and before and between and in our country it's until the 29th of April. This year, Panama has been selected by the Pan American Health Organization as a headquarters or at the host center for this meeting. And for this occasion, for this reason, we have representatives of PAHO, WHO, and 45 countries that are here working with us to eliminate diseases through vaccines. Over these 23 years, we have vaccinated over 3.9 million inhabitants against preventable diseases by vaccines, as Mrs. Rubella syndrome, congenital rubella, the rotavirus, diarrhea, pneumonia, and its complications like meningitis, and the influenza type B, hepatitis A and B, polio, and meningia, yellow fever, and the human papillomavirus. We have applied over 4 million dosages of these vaccines. All of our activities have been facing strongly to diminish the inequality and the exclusion of health services. By reinforcing this and by preventing communicable diseases and by eliminating 11 out of the 31 preventable diseases by vaccination. I would like to say that we do appreciate a lot the presence of the PAHO director here in Panama, Dr. Darvos Barbosa. Thank you very much for your presence, Dr. Barbosa, because for us, his presence truly, and also the support of our First Lady Maricel Cohen de Molino, is fundamental for what we want to do in our country. Let us be reminded that the Panama Canal was developed and was able to be built because of a fundamental aspect. Thanks to people like Dr. Gorgas, a wise person that was able to control yellow fever and effectively for our country to be able to contain that vector and therefore to be able to develop that wonderful work. I would like to remind you of this because I believe it's important, and I want to thank Ms. Hugo that is here with me, and through her to the whole health service workers of the Ministry of Health and the Social Security that are doing what's best to contain these diseases and all of the diseases that we have been able to have under control for years. And without that work, without what they do, we will have them once again. What we do in order for us to have a progress, we need people who are healthy, and for that matter, we need programs such as the ones that we are starting at the national level, at the level of the country, supported by the President of the Republic, Jose Raúl Molino Quintero, who gave us a job and to eliminate the cervical uterine cancer by 2029 here in Panama. So the capacity of ours to be able to fight these diseases depends on the full collaboration of all Panamanians, not only of the Ministry of Health and Social Security, but all of us. We are considering a projection. We want to make Panama and Panamanians one health, one soul health system, because animal health, just like human health, just like the environment, cannot be disconnected from each other. They all go together. If we do not control diseases, as we have seen so far over these years, people who are mostly in need, the poorest, will be the ones, just as Dr. Barbosa just said, will be even poorer and will be even more in need. Sick populations are not going to produce richness, but more needs and sorrow. Our mission is to have a whole population, even though we might not be able to count it in specific numbers or dollars, but the best way for us to develop a country is to have a healthy population. So I would like to congratulate you all, health workers, because what you're doing is a wonderful thing. Here in Panama, many of the diseases are eradicated and hopefully will never come back. But they don't come back because we are producing like the non-valent vaccination, and now we have new pathologies included in order to protect the population, and there's going to be more. Let us never be confused. Vaccines and the projection or trying to mislead was vaccines too, because of what had happened with some types of vaccines and some types of narrative. Vaccines throughout the time and humanity history have been efficient. Panama would have never been able to build the canal without the control of diseases. That made it possible. That was the reason why previous companies, as the French company of the Panamanian and the French Canal, went to bankruptcy. So that is why I am so glad to see how Panama is receiving this designation from PAHO to make us the focus on the launching of this vaccination week of the Americas. I believe that this is going to be very successful, so I truly congratulate you all. Dr. Bourbon, Ana Vivier, congratulations to you both. You are always working hand in hand with us, Pajo. I really would like to thank you for that contribution and that support. I just want to clarify one last thing. There is a revolving fund managed by PAHO, and that is why I was asking just now, Dr. Barbosa, what's going to happen in the future because of the policies that are coming from different places, because that revolving fund is allowing us to get vaccines that are negotiated by PAHO at very reduced and affordable prices. Otherwise, we will not be able to obtain it. So we are being able to pay for that revolving fund as we are able to, and so they can finance that as well. So I really thank you for the effort and the support to our country. The objective is for us to vaccine over 200,000 people border to border, including those who are on the move that are in this territory. A goal that is fully supported by the government and His Excellency, President Jose Raúl Mulino. I want to say this. Thanks to the health group, Panama is right now free from yellow fever. There's no yellow fever in the country. And, well, we really have to be very, we have to strongly protect that, because yellow fever could be transmitted through animals and human beings. So this, as I said, we are all one health. That is why the efforts from our First Lady, Maricel Cohen de Molino, wanted to really put an emphasis on animal health. Why? Because there is no disconnection between animals and human beings. And every day, more and more, our pets, because human beings are sociable beings, we want to be accompanied, and more we want to be accompanied by our pets. So there should be just one structure at a national level. for that, all the teams of MINSA and the Social Security will visit your households from border to border. Please open the doors to them. Keep your vaccination cards at hand. Remember, these vaccines are free of charge. They save lives, and we even have a program in which we could take pets to from one place to another, just like human beings do, because pets are part of the family, part of the families. We have to be adapted to new times. That should never be a problem. That should be a source of happiness for human beings. So, before I wrap up, I would like to thank PAHO and WHO for choosing Panama for this act of launching, the Office of the First Lady for from day one becoming part of this event, UNICEF Panama for supporting us in the promotion, Mr. Omar Alfano, our singer-author, for his support, private sector, the Universidad Latina and UDELAS for supporting us, and last but not least, every single Panamanian and residents of this republic for believing in vaccination and letting the team of vaccination to get into their households. You have made the best choice to have health. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Boy, for your remarks. I would like to now grant the floor to Her Excellency Marisela Cohen de Molino, First Lady of the Republic of Panama, who will share a message on behalf of His Excellency Jose Raúl Molino Quintero, President of the Republic of Panama. Good morning to one and all. Your Excellency Dr. Fernando Boy Galindo, Minister of Health, Ministers and Vice Ministers, thank you very much for your support today. Honorable Mr. Jarbas Barbosa, Regional Director for PAHO and WHO, and delegation, members of the accredited diplomatic bodies in Panama, thank you very much for your support and joining us. Honorable Ana Riviere Cinnamon, representative from PAHO, WHO representative in Panama. Honorable Rogelio Gordon, Subdirector to the Social Security Fund in Panama, thank you very much for joining us. Honorable Itzel de Heritz, Coordinator to the Expanded Vaccination Program by MINSA Panama, thank you very much for joining us. Authorities from the national government, ladies and gentlemen from diverse international organizations joining us today, media, and dear guests. Today, I would like to share a message from my heart as a mother, as a Panamanian, as someone that dreams with a future full of life for our children. I know there is nothing else more important than to care for our health. Our health is the starting point. It's the basis for everything, for our dreams, for our families, for the families we raise, for the communities we see are growing and advancing strongly and happily. This is why I am proud to join everyone today on the regional launch of the 23rd Vaccination Week in the Americas 2025. This year, it shares a message that I believe it's very important. Your decision makes a difference, marks a difference. Vaccination is an act of love. It's about protecting yourself, and it's about protecting those you care the most for. It's about supporting your family, your neighbors, and caring for the children that are just starting to learn how to walk, or grandfathers that fill us with stories, or women that carries life in her womb. I understand that sometimes there are doubts, and this is natural. And for this reason, I would like to invite everyone to seek for responses, ask without fear, and speak with those that know. best and mostly decide based on love and trust. Panama raises its voice on behalf of health and prevention as a country and as a family. We reaffirm our commitment to protecting each other and protecting and sharing our experiences with the region. Thank you to PAHO, thank you to the Ministry of Health, and thank you to all for enabling today's event. Today we save lives, today we renew hope, and today we decide to care for what we love the most. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very well. We will now advance to the symbolic vaccination ceremony. We would like to ask our authorities to please descend the main floor to start with this very important ceremony. Firstly, Ms. Yolanda NG from San Miguelito Vaccination Region will apply the 9-valent HPV vaccine to Sebastian Diaz, the child, Sebastian Diaz. Marilu Mulillo from the Metropolitan Region will apply the influenza vaccine to the girl Scarlett Perez Chingo. Very well. Yolanda NG from San Miguelito region will administer the vaccine, 9-valent HPV vaccine, to the child Sebastian Diaz. After this ceremony of love, we will like to say farewell to the Honorable First Lady of the Republic of Panama, Marisela Cohen de Molino. Standing by. In the meantime, we would like to share Danzas Panama's folkloric presentation. Please enjoy folkloric presentations from Los Santos province. We invite you to please remain in your seats for the second part of today's event. And in the meantime, Grupo Danzas will share folkloric dances from Los Santos province. Thank you very much to Danzas Panama for the folkloric dances from Los Santos province. Thank you once again. As previously stated, Panama was one of the first countries in the region to attend a call on immunization against communicable diseases throughout these sessions. The Ministry of Health Extended Immunization Program has successfully developed Panama's vaccination scheme and made it one of the most complete schemes in the region. For this, we would like to invite Magister Excel Kiewit, coordinator from the Extended Immunization Program, to share remarks on Panama's experience. Good morning. I would like to follow the main panel's protocol, and I would like to welcome Dr. Salas, who is the director from the Extended Immunizations Program. He's my big boss. Respected ministers, members from national authorities, directors, ministers, coordinators from the Social Security Fund, from the Ministry of Health, health staff, parents that believe in vaccinations, this is why you're here today, and our general audience. It is an honor, first off, as a nurse, it's an honor to lead such a program, and being part of this very important campaign is an honor, as I stated. Being part of the 23rd week of vaccinations in the Americas, and I can say I've been able to join each event from the organization phase to the execution phase, and I'm very proud of this reality because one of the first 19 countries that joined the initiative was precisely our country, Panama. And from the very first day, Panama has taken action responsibly. We have incorporated comprehensive actions into vaccinations. In other words, we have included hand washing practices, administration of micronutrients such as vitamin A, pets vaccination. As a matter of fact, we have vaccinated more pets in certain regions rather than children, which is something that has called out our attention. Just last week, I was at the Nobagandi shrine, and they were vaccinating pets and dogs, and I asked, what about people? So for this reason, we have benefited from the vaccinations week in the Americas and consider Panama's great plus. In other words, we have changed from a non-valent vaccine into a monovalent to a trivalent vaccine, and now we're working with a trivalent vaccine because it already includes diverse strains, and which is, well, there's a specific strain no longer in our country. For this reason, we went back to the previous vaccination, but in the end, we follow the recommendations provided by the organization. At the same time, we have contributed through the vaccinations week, and we initiated men in HPV vaccines. We usually vaccinate girls and adolescent girls, and we changed from a dual-valent vaccine to a trivalent vaccine, and until today, Panama vaccinates both men, girls, boys, and adolescents. At the same time, we took advantage of the opportunity to migrate from the pneumococcal vaccine. As a matter of fact, we started with the 13-valent pneumococcal vaccine to a 20-valent one. At the same time, we have included the Panamanian population, and we have included non-traditional groups into the vaccination scheme. In Panama, we have vaccinated the displaced population, migrant population. Everyone that goes through Panama has access to vaccination services, since one of the grand purposes from from PAHO is to provide an equal access to vaccination and leaving no one behind. For this reason, anyone that goes through our country has access to vaccination services in the same way. And we feel very proud because it's a plus that not all countries provide. Panama does it, and for this reason, we believe it's one of the grandest evidence that guarantees the fact that Panama does not have constant outbursts as other neighboring countries, because all Colombians apply or administer or receive the yellow fever vaccine, especially those that have access to the border area. In Costa Rica, we also administer the yellow fever vaccine. This, of course, provides an additional calmness since our regulation provides access to the vaccine in a wholesome form. In other words, anyone that inhabits in the Panamanian territory, if they're a national or not, they still have access to vaccination services. Throughout this entire week, this entire 23rd vaccination week in the Americas, our country has protected more than 3 million inhabitants, both Panamanian as non-Panamanian people from other countries, basically. 3 million, 3.768,000 people that have received the vaccine with a total amount of 4 million dosages administered. In other words, we're a very small country. However, our doors are open in regards to primary health care, PHC. And for this reason, prevention through vaccination. I would like to thank everyone. First, I would like to thank PAHO. This is the second time you choose Panama for this great distinction. This is the second time, and we've done our job. I hope we did. At the same time, I would like to thank the Social Security Fund for always walking right next to us in diverse activities. I would also like to thank UNICEF, even though it was not your role. Even though it was not their role, they did join us and support our efforts. Thank you to Omar Alfaro, a Panamanian composer who has participated in a few mopings and advertising notes. Thank you very much for your support. At the same time, I would like to thank the private enterprises. Thank you very much, since every year during the vaccination week in the Americas, in one way or another, even in an anonymous form, within your social and business social responsibilities, you provide support, even though it may be of not a grand amount for you, it's of great support to us. And at the same time, thank you to every parent in Panama for allowing your children to share their arm and legs for our nurses to administer and the vaccine and do our work. Thank you. We would also like to invite Dr. Ana Rivera Cinnamon, representative of PAHO and WHO in Panama, who will share remarks on vaccination and its role in the initiative for the elimination of communicable diseases through vaccines.
Good day, one and all. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I would like to also join to previous greetings, and first of all to thank Panama for being the host of these events, whether national or regional. It's really difficult for me to take this microphone after what we have heard from such an expert in immunization, but I want to address not only the importance of immunization, but also the aspect of the elimination of diseases, because today we are here with this this absolutely relevant purpose, not only to celebrate health, but to transform the future of Panama and the region. This is a moment to take action and to make a difference. In Panama, we are fully committed with the initiative to eliminate diseases. This is a bold purpose, as you have heard, covers 36 diseases threatening the life of different citizens, like measles, cervix, uterine cancer, and others. And these are the preventable diseases that we can control with vaccination. This is one of the most important uh, tools that we have in the health system. It is a matter not only of love and responsibility, not only for us, but for the community. Each vaccine that we provide is a shield protecting us, our children, parents, friends, and the community as a whole. We spoke about measles. It could be a serious disease, but with a vaccine and surveillance, could be eliminated. And it is crucial right now that we have heard of outbreaks in certain places. We truly need to monitor and provide surveillance and to report suspicious cases, but above all, to get vaccinated. I just want to thank this. I want to take this opportunity for the plan of the cervical uterine cancer developed by Panama. It is key. The non-violent vaccine that is being applied here in Panama, we have a major ally in this fight. This is a step forward for cervical uterine cancer to be just a memory and to stop being the fight for so many women right now. I would like to make a call to everyone. Please don't just stay there doing nothing. Actively participate in these vaccination journeys and sessions. We have to talk to our neighbors. We have to share information, and we have to motivate everyone, our colleagues and friends. Everyone should get vaccinated. This week is an opportunity for us to be together as a community. We have the power to make a difference. This is what we have determined as the key message. Our slogan, our motto is the moment to make a difference. And this is an opportunity that happens every year. And this is a moment to take action, protect our people, and to build a bright future. All of us together, we can make it. We would like to encourage you all to be vaccinated, vaccinate your family members, and protect the whole society. Thank you very much. And now we would like to confirm the initiative for the elimination of communicable disease. This is an agreement between the Ministry of Health, the Social Security, and the Pan American Health Organization. This commitment is a national strategic plan for the elimination of diseases and related issues from 2025 to 2032, which is part of the initiative for the third elimination through the leadership of the Ministry of Health as a pioneer. And now we would like to hear from the Deputy General Director, Dr. Rogelio Gordon, for a few remarks. Good morning to one and all. I also would like to join myself to previous greetings in order to start with today's topic, and I want to be brief. But first, I want to start by saying that this is not an ordinary day. Today, from the heart of our health institutions, we are launching a campaign that protects what's more valuable, which is our lives. And above all, the life of our children and vulnerable communities. We celebrate the 13th vaccination session of the Americas and the 14th edition of Immunization Week. These are not just events in a calendar, but powerful reminders that whenever we decide to get vaccinated, we're choosing to protect to love. That is why we strongly say, and we should permanently repeat it, your decision makes a difference. So just think for a moment about the little ones, their laughters, their games, their dreams. They cannot decide on their own. They depend on us. They depend on their mothers, fathers, caregivers, and professionals and health professionals to take that step in a timely manner. Each vaccine that they receive is an invisible shield that will join them throughout their lives, and they promise that they will be able to grow healthy, go to school, play without fear, and embrace a future with trust. The Social Security is firmly taking this commitment for the prevention by collaborating with the Ministry of Health in order to get to all the communities of the country, and by getting closer to the families with respect and empathy, and providing clear and honest information. Because vaccination is not only a medical act, it is an act of love. We have to go and get closer to the elderly, migrants, indigenous people, health workers, meaning everyone. But first of all, the most vulnerable communities. I want to address each mother, father, grandparent that at some point has faced some sort of doubt. This is an area of a lot of false information or misinformation all around social media. But we have to trust, and we always want the best for our loved ones. So I want you to be sure that vaccines save lives. They have saved lives for generations and still today. Trusting vaccines is to trust science, our professional, and the future of our children. To vaccinate is an act of love, protection, and hope to build a stronger, healthier country. Thanks for believing in public health and for choosing to protect those who need it the most, especially now that our Social Security is going through an historical transformation period, wanting for Panamanians to live more with dignity. Getting vaccine is not a minor thing, it's a declaration of faith in life, solidarity. Now, more than ever, getting vaccinated is an act of responsibility and hope because, yes, your decision makes a difference. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we will now like to leave you with music that will address the topic of making the decision of getting vaccinated. Please, if the technicians could just show the video. Recording. Being proactive. That's the quality. We want to strengthen and increase the access to vaccines in the non-vaccinated population and under-vaccinated and population at risk, and to keep the elimination and prevention of communicable diseases the Ministry of Health, Pan American Health Organization, and other partners are celebrating the 23rd week of vaccination of the Americas and the 14th week of vaccination from April 23rd to the 30th to diminish the gap and exclusion to health services. Bring your little ones, your grandparents, your pregnant people, bring them in. This is the opportunity. Get them protected. I already made my decision. Have you? This week, we're going to be introducing for the first time the human papilloma nanovalent vaccine and the pneumococcal 20-valent. Also, all the other general vaccines of the chart are going to be available, like influenza ones. They're free of charge and safe. This is the moment to take action. Let us protect our loved ones. Your decision makes a difference. Get vaccinated. And now, once again, we receive Danzas Panamá. And now, they're going to show us some Congo dances from the province of Colón. Thanks to the group, the musical group, for this songs and dances from the province of Colón. And with that, we end this session, and we would like to invite you to outside of this room from the members of the media to the press conference.